Yay, and we're back. It's Wednesday. Welcome to this week's Wafflers Wednesday, and thank you for tuning in. Whether you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or even if you're watching on the replay, we just love the fact that you're watching. And before we start tonight, I'm going to start just by saying we've got a new podcast out, and it came out yesterday, and it's really good. And I'm going to say it's our second anniversary. See, look at that. Ben's even got a thing for that.
I know.
And
2 years already.
It's brilliant. It's unreal. But I've got to say, Ben, if nobody's listened to it yet, and I know lots of people have, and we thank them for it, it is the most amazing thing. We've got to be so thankful. There's so many lovely people in the Disney community who contributed messages into the show, and a big thank you to those guys. And then also you put together a potted history. It was like sort of history repeating over 2 years, and looking, it was really quite. I don't know. It was just one of the two parts of it. Looking back, and then from a perspective of other people looking at us, and both parts of that. I was really.
There were so many highlights of 2 years. It was so difficult to think of what was most memorable. I still think one of the most memorable ones was what was it? Sammy's answer to the car park question on Carousel Questions.
Still my favourite, and will probably be my favourite for a good many years.
What sort of question is that?
Sorry, Sammy.
As has proven in the Carousel of Questions, it's a really good question.
Yeah. It is. I think we're going to have to give another go at those questions, because I think all our answers are going to be completely different 2 years later.
Yeah, maybe so. Right. The other one as well. Please have just an eye on the road if you're in the car, and if you haven't listened to the Big Fat Panda shares a waffle, his impersonation of an English child is absolutely to behold. It is the funniest thing. And I was on the show and I laughed then, and then I listened again yesterday. It had me in absolute bits.
It's very funny.
In editing the show, I've been listening to it all weekend.
He knows
I know it word for word. And
I bet it still makes you laugh though, because it's just dead. It is just dead funny.
It's really good.
So yeah, that's all out there, and that's fantastic, because I actually love these Wednesday nights, because I know Sammy sort of had a dig at me last Wednesday at 9 p.m. on the dot.
I know we finished on time.
Yeah, you finished early. Let's face facts. You finished early. You shortchanged the entire viewing population of the Great British Mickey Waffle.
And Universal Resort.
You have to keep people wanting more. So there will be a Universal. There'll be a Universal Part 2.
And then there needs
a part 3 as well.
And there needs to be an extinct Universal. I found some photos at the weekend.
Did you? Oh, there we go. You see.
There might have been a Ghostbusters show and a Beetlejuice show. Photos that I found.
No, I remember some of them. That's it.
Yeah.
All I can think of is Twister and the Flying Cow.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not what we're talking about tonight.
We're not talking about that.
We digress already. That doesn't take long.
It's John. It's John.
It's my fault. I'll take full responsibility. And please, I do not expect to finish at 9 p.m. So if you're watching,
is it 9 p.m. Thursday you plan to finish?
Yeah, maybe. No, not at all. No, we're a bit more. We're a bit kinder than that for now.
Yeah.
So we don't have time limit. We'll just get yourself. Go and pour yourself a drink. If you're in the US, go and get a cup of tea. Go on.
We've got lots of friends to say hello to, so you got
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's true. I've got to go all the way up.
Yeah, if you do that, I'm going to tell everyone we're actually talking about all things supermarkets in Orlando tonight, and so who better to share that waffle with than just amongst the shopaholics, really? Because I know, I actually know that. I think between the four of us, there's probably about 3 hours in this show, but there's not. We'll keep it concise, we'll keep it neat, and we'll keep it sort of.
Is it about 1 hour per supermarket?
No, I don't think so.
No, we're going to stay.
That's just the length of time you get lost in Walmart.
The thing is, they are an awful lot bigger,
huge
compared to over here.
Yeah.
Let's say hello to friends.
Let's do the chat.
Let's do it the proper way round. Let's say hello.
Okay, we're going to say hello to us as we're here.
Hiya.
Hi.
Hello.
Is everyone got their waving hands ready?
Oh, right,
No.
okay.
I'm just gonna not worry today.
Like the Queen.
Are you? Yeah.
She
I've
does it
pressed the
way
wrong
better
button.
than I do.
Yeah. So
Who else we got?
we've
I'm
got-
going to scroll
we have
up
Jill.
miles to get to.
I know.
Valerie was
Valerie.
first in. Hey,
Hi,
Valerie.
Hi, Pat.
Hi,
Trisha.
Patricia.
Hello.
If you don't like
Thank you
Pat, I
for joining.
apologise. Hi, Dan.
We got Jill.
Hi, Jill.
We have Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hey,
Hi,
Tom.
Tom.
Always
Thanks for
here.
joining us. Yeah, he is, isn't he? I appreciate you
Hi,
joining
Sammy's
us.
mum.
Hey,
Hello,
Sharon.
Sammy's mum.
And we've got
Hello to
Bakers.
the
Nice to
Baker
see
family.
you.
Yeah.
Hi, Neil.
Also, always here.
Yeah.
This is Zach Brown. Now,
Zach,
is it worth mentioning at this point that we've got a really special show coming up in the middle of the month? Because we're in June now.
Yeah.
And we were really lucky that the 15th of June show, we are sharing a waffle with Zach Brown.
It's going to be brilliant. Well, it was.
It was brilliant.
It was
It was a
very
brilliant
long,
chat.
very fun
Yeah.
recording. So we're really looking forward to being able to share that with everybody, and it's brilliant. So thank you, Zach, for your time, and it's great to have you in the chat.
Yeah. There's
We
quite a
have
lot.
Wendy.
There's loads of people. Hiya, Wendy. Thank you for being with us.
We have
Movie
Mania
Nick.
Hey,
We
Nick.
have Dan.
Disney
Dan.
Dan's there as well. Yeah, Dan will be sick of the sight of us.
Yeah, Robin. Hi,
Hi,
Robin.
Robin's here, and
Hiya, Robin.
Robin, your cruise masks are incredible. They're so cute.
One's on its way.
He needed to order tea because we're going to argue over it.
This is it. It's Robin and her Sotiki shop.
Hi,
They're
Sean.
just
Hi, Sean.
incredible stuff. So thank you.
Yeah.
Isn't every show is special? No, it's just Ben that's special, and not always in a good way.
Thank you, Claire.
Oh,
I think it's well,
it's too easy. It's too easy.
I think Neil mentioned there as well. He missed out last week because he was watching football.
Oh, well.
He should have joined in the Universal chat because it was far better than his football anyway.
Especially when we were joined by Universal themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
So who knows who's going to be in the chat tonight?
Well, that's what I'm beginning to think. So if anybody's watching and has got any links to any of the Orlando supermarkets and wishes to send any free merchandise to the Great British Mickey Waffle, please feel free. We have no affiliation whatsoever to those supermarkets. And if they want to send us money off coupons, we're more than delighted to take them for our next trip to the
I
US.
saw someone mention coupons earlier, and that's a whole other conversation. Was it you, Patricia?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was Patricia.
Coupons are a whole other issue.
Hi, Carlos. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Carlos. Well. We've got loads of friends tonight. Obviously, everyone loves shopping.
Yeah, I think we missed Peter on the the chat on YouTube as well.
Oh,
yeah,
he's everywhere.
He was upset we missed him, so we've got him. There we go.
Peter's everywhere.
Absolutely. So where do we want to start? Because actually, I think we've got the opportunity to talk about loads of places. I'm going to put it out there. I think the big three of Super Target, Publix, Walmart. I was going to mention Winn-Dixie, but Winn-Dixie, I think certainly the one at Four Corners and the one at Crossroads are now deceased. Whether that's the whole of Winn-Dixie.
Deceased.
Yeah, I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
I've heard of Winn-Dixie's.
I think that's a nice place to start because the Winn-Dixie that was at Four Corners, or certainly the area which used to be near Splendid China, was themed with Chinese sort of a Chinese interior to the shop.
Yeah, wow.
And
I
it was
don't think
brilliant.
I've ever been in a Winn-Dixie. I don't ever remember going in one.
It was dead expensive, Claire. So in this cutthroat age of supermarkets, it was any wonder that they didn't quite make it. But it was always good for us Brits turning up quite late and just way to a villa. You always knew they were going to be open, and that one in particular, just because of its theming. Even when I asked the kids, and I said to my kids, and I said, of all the supermarkets, which one shall I talk about? You've got to mention that. So,
well, I think it's worth pointing out for all of our friends in the States is that your supermarkets and we call everything that's a large shop a supermarket. I know somebody on Facebook had pointed out that we didn't necessarily, supermarkets were just for food, where in the US, whereas for us, a supermarket is any shop bigger than your corner shop, basically, that sells a multitude of different things, whether that be food or other stuff. But they're insane, like properly insane for us, because we don't have anything like the amount of choice or the breadth of range. You know, some of the stuff that we see, we're just like, I've stood there looking at a shelf of Philadelphia, and it's like 12 foot high and 12 foot wide, and there's like 1,000 different kinds of Philadelphia. I was just like, I just want some soft cheese. Which one do I pick? And this is really weird because we don't have anything like that. So going to a supermarket for us is like one of the best things about being on holiday in the US, is because it's fun. It's I know everyone thinks I'm mad. Like Carlos is laughing at me.
Yeah, but it's true though. It's exactly what we do.
It goes in the plan. Whether it's like the first thing you do once you get off the plane, you think, okay, but if you're at a villa, then it's something you're going to need to go to a supermarket.
Yeah.
For us, we've not stayed in a villa, so it's a bit different. But we'll always make a stop at whether it be Walmart, Target, Publix.
The first few trips we tended to pop down to Walgreens.
I'm never going to live that down, am I? Oh dear.
Robin is right. A supermarket is a half-day experience.
So we're planning our next trip, and we've actually put a whole morning aside. Our first morning is set aside for going to a supermarket, which is ridiculous. We're going to go out for breakfast, and then we're going to go to the supermarket. You know, that's part of our trip. So, you know,
Sean's got it there.
There are probably a few packets of M&Ms in the basket as well.
Problem is, what type of M&Ms do you want?
This is it. You know, over here, we can't get mint M&Ms, which are obviously the greatest invention in the world. The caramel M&Ms, even like the crispy biscuit ones, we don't get over here. So there's just crazy amounts of stuff that it doesn't exist in our world until we get there.
In the UK, we have 3 types of M&Ms. 3.
Crispy,
chocolate, and peanut.
Peanut. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So that's why we like going to the supermarket, because it's just, you know, an experience that we can't get at home. And I think
I would never go to Walmart after 10 p.m.
That dangerous, huh?
So let's talk Walmart, because I know Walmart is the butt of many jokes. And we've all seen the memes and the social media accounts of, you know, spotted in Walmart and all of that.
People of Walmart.
I have had the misfortune of going into Walmart, the one on North Lake Wilson Road.
Yeah, I think we've got a map here somewhere.
Oh yeah, I did the maps, didn't I? I think it's the one near Sherburth Road, just off the 192.
It's
massive.
The new one.
It's I mean, it's huge, and it's full of British people, is my experience.
Because Walmart is the quintessential American supermarket if you're British and have never been.
That's where everyone thinks of when they think of an American supermarket. They think of Walmart.
In the UK, we've got Asda, which is a Walmart. Has always been used to be a Walmart company. Don't know if it still is or not, but
it's always been. They did it. I remember it getting bought out by Walmart. But it is just so incredible to walk in and have that array of stuff. It's not, you know, there's food, there's clothing, you can buy a boat, you can buy a lawnmower.
There's tires, guns, and drugs. That's all there is. Guns, drugs, tires. There you go.
I like that it's next to
the sunglasses. And I like the fact that there is a Minnie Mouse t-shirt in the background.
It's the stuff you expect in your supermarket, isn't it? Really? It's like, what do I need? I need new tires, I need new pair of sunglasses and a top.
I mean, it just brings a whole other meaning to the, you know, I nipped out for milk and look what I bought.
Yeah.
Come back.
And 4 tires.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating how so much stuff is in this one shed.
I'd say it's just overwhelming. You go in there, like you said, it's like, okay, I just want to see what American snacks I can get. I'm on holiday. That's what I want. And it's like, oh, let's just walk down this aisle. It's
I'm like a rabbit in the headlights when I walk in there. And I I really struggle in Walmart, particularly the really big ones, because there's one up the other end of the 192 as well, which is near the 27.
Yeah, the one. Yeah.
Sure, you are not wrong.
You know something?
You've hit the nail on the head.
That's exactly
in the middle of Lidl.
Yeah.
A middle of Lidl, and then you go in. You just wanted a loaf of bread. You come out with like a chainsaw, some duct tape, and you've forgotten all about the loaf of bread that you went for in the first place.
And the police are following you on your way home because they've just watched what you bought. You know, couple of cleanup kits, and you can do anything. But it's just like, this is so funny, Zach. I love that I'm amusing you. When I'm there, we'll go to the supermarket together, and you can just see. But there is something about walking in and being a rabbit in the headlights.
You need a plan going to Walmart, and I think that's the key.
You need a map.
Yeah, but you need to go in. You need to concentrate just on the grocery part of it first, right? Yeah. So everybody,
but they're not in any logical order, but
doesn't matter.
It does.
It's got the kitchen counter.
It just helps if you know where you're going.
We say this though, that it takes hours and hours. I've known people to go into Sainsbury's and spend 3 or 4 hours in there.
Yeah, I can do that too. So,
that sounds torture. That. And that's because you weren't.
No, because I used to work in the customer services in Sainsbury's, and the amount of people I would have come up to me and go, "I've been in the car park for longer than 4 hours. Can you make sure I don't get a ticket?"
Wow!
I've just been in here shopping.
Yeah,
that's mental.
I think they got lost in the car park.
Yeah,
and they were sitting in the cafe having a coffee. But
can we just? Do you know something? No, Patricia, we don't have a Bed Bath and Beyond. We don't have anything like that. And can we just talk about the fact that there is a separate liquor store as well? Because I don't understand this, and I'm hoping someone can explain it to me. Why can you buy beer and wine within the supermarket?
Yeah.
But if you want to buy a bottle of gin, for example, you can't. You have to go next door to the liquor store. And I feel so self-conscious going in there. I feel like an alcoholic going in there because it's just like everyone's looking at you. You're walking in and just like, I'm going in for my booze.
Yeah, but if you go to Canada, the supermarkets in Canada, you actually have to go to the liquor store to buy beer and wine. None of the supermarkets, certainly when we were in Canada, they don't sell them there. You have to go to a designated store, and I think it's to do with the licensing, and I think it's to do with making it difficult for people to buy certainly spirits, and I think that's do you know? I think it's a really common thing. I think it's a really good way of doing it, because I think anything that's on a supermarket shelf becomes something that is. It's part of your sort of expected part of daily life, isn't it? And I think that's why
I hadn't thought of it like that. But
I think it's a good way. It's a good way, and like Becca said, I think it's a good way of avoiding underage drinking.
Yeah.
Everyone
does it slightly differently.
Yeah,
but I feel really self-conscious going into the liquor store. I quite often make Dan do it.
But I think that's why they do it, and I think it's asking you that sort of. It's dead easy in this country. It's just like, it's
throwing a couple of bottles of gin.
Yeah, it's just and that's only if you're 14, 15. But hey, that's another tale. What I was going to say about Walmart, and I think this is perhaps a little bit of advice, because the places are that big. You need to have certainly before we all had mobile phones as a family, we had a designated place that we would meet if we couldn't find each other. Because it is just such a massive...
You have to have a rendezvous point when you go to Walmart.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of planning.
I'll meet you by the tyres.
Yeah, well, no, because the tyres can move, can't they? The tyres are in different places in different stores. So you actually have to have a particular place. And since we've all got phones, that hasn't made it any easier, because we all want to go and look at different things. And so the minute you get out of that grocery section, it's like a maze. It's a maze, and you're not going to find anybody. And so then you end up with that thing where the kids are going one direction and you're going the other direction, and then my wife's going the other way, and you're all sort of in different places, and you can't find each other because none of the aisles are sort of straight. They're all zigzaggy, so you don't actually see from one end of the store to the next. So you're there for hours looking for each other. You're not looking at any of the stuff. You're just completely lost, and everyone else is lost, and you're just like, and stopping short of doing what my mother does, which is highly embarrassing. And I've always promised my kids I'd never do it. Is shout your name at the top of your voice, which I can't stand. I cannot stand, and it's just like, yeah.
Do you know?
Does it help that your name's John?
Yeah,
There'll probably 5 other people in the store with that name.
You know what I'm gonna do.
Oh, it's hideous.
John, that's it.
Yeah.
That's always going to happen.
John, have you thought of just like buying a balloon and just strapping it to, like, I don't know,
or
just,
an umbrella, like a tour guide
or
something?
Yeah. Tell you one thing though, it's a really good meeting in the CD section. Yeah, CDs. That top part of CDs. Remember them.
What's a CD?
I'll meet you back in 1994.
I think you might need to go forward a few years, Claire. I don't think the CDs were around in 94.
Next to the Apple products.
I want to like
okay.
iTunes.
Let's see what you can't buy
at home. Yeah, that's true.
Dad's not paying for it, so
yeah.
See what won't work when you get it home.
Yeah, it's got a completely different plug on it.
Yeah. So Walmart is massive. There's a lot of them as well. That's the other thing, is that there is quite a big span across. I mean, if we're talking Central Florida, you know, they are everywhere, which is that has its benefits.
Things to think about in getting an Uber, because the thing is, when you type in Walmart, which you do, make sure you go to the one that you're wanting to go to, because there's different sizes of places, and it's like putting where you get back from.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot within. There is quite a lot within that sort of vicinity of all of the parks as well, and it's very much worthwhile just doing a little bit of digging as to which ones sort of are worth going to and which ones are not. There's one or two that get exceptionally busy on a Friday night, which you don't want to be putting yourself in there, because it's payday Friday. There's a lot of Americans tend to do their shopping at that particular point. It's also a lot, when you get within a store that's a lot of locals and you're a tourist and you're sort of very much feeling as if you're the odd one out. Some people, doesn't make me, but it makes some people feel a little bit as if they're on the back foot. And I don't give a stuff about that. It's Walmart, and it's. I'm still looking for them. Was it the Milky Way, the dark Milky Way bars?
Oh, they're lovely.
Yeah, midnight Milky Way bars. How good are they?
Really nice.
Another thing we can't get here.
And also golf balls. Do you know? And that's the thing. You just go for the most random things and just like, golfing stuff.
We need a challenge, I think, coming up at some point.
Yeah.
Like a scavenger hunt.
When one of us is out there, we need to come up with like a list of random items.
We could do like an A to Z. We need to get something for every letter of the alphabet.
Yeah.
I'm an absolute sucker for buying duct tape in Walmart. It's cheap. Yeah, it's dead cheap, and then also when you're buying duct tape, it's got the most amazing array of different colours.
I have to say, there are some stuff. There are some things you can't buy over here that you can only get there. And I know there's somebody in the chat tonight who buys their hair products in the States, curly hair products, because you can't buy them over here, and then sometimes runs out and has to ask people who are over there to be able to send some over. So. I think there are definitely things that are fantastic. And, we are all suckers for this. We all order stuff from Walmart online, get it shipped over using Stackry, a third-party shipping service. I think all 4 of us here have done that at least once in the last 6 months, if not more. Christmas at our house, we had loads of American snacks and food, which was like a blessing for us because we were so miserable about not being able to go. So, oh, Patricia, thank you. That's so sweet. We had like a 28 kilo box of stuff. So, thank you. We just had loads of, everything from, for me, it's things like tumble dryer sheets. You don't get them over here really. So there's stuff like that and nice smelling cleaning products. That everything here smells of pine, and I don't want that. So
It sounds really silly that though, Claire, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And actually,
doesn't it?
It
sounds silly,
things like
but it
food is always our
the reality
thing.
of it. It's just
Yeah, it's
totally
just that
different.
little, and it's also for me, it's that little bit of Florida, because when we're there and we're doing our laundry in the villa, actually using the tumble dryer sheets, and then when I come home and my laundry still smells like that, it's just that little bit of connection for me.
Yeah.
I know it's really sad, but it makes a difference. So
Yeah,
I
so
love
we talked
that
about
Wendy knows
Walmart.
that. I love
We've
that
got
Wendy
other-
knows when we're coming over to Florida.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wendy. She's our official organizer.
Yeah.
We've talked about Walmart, Super Target, or Target.
Just a bigger version.
Target or Super Target is bigger brother. I have had the misfortune to go into Target once, but not in Florida. I went to one in when I was.
I like
visiting
your
my
choice
cousin.
of words. Your misfortune.
Oh, it most definitely was.
Really?
How's
Yeah,
it
it
compared
was
to
awful.
Walmart?
It was really variable. So in terms of stuff that wasn't groceries, it was fine, and there was loads of selection.
Yeah.
Anything fresh was not fresh. There was loaves of bread on the shelves that were mouldy. So yeah, it may just have been the slightly dodgy one that we went into. So we went into one in White Plains in New York, visiting my cousin. They told us where it was. We went in, and then we told them where we went, and they went, "Oh no, don't go there." But we did buy some other stuff, which was quite cool. But I wouldn't be in a rush to head to Target, I don't think. Out of the choices, it's not somewhere that I would particularly go out of my way to go to. I don't know about your views.
I actually think Target, apart from the fact that it's slightly more expensive, certainly from experience, for fresh food than Walmart and Publix, which we'll come to. The expense of it, yes. The non-food bit is absolutely superb. I know people keep remarking that I keep wearing different T-shirts every week. This T-shirt is my Lion King one, which I very gladly only paid about $10 from Target on the 192. And I can't remember the name of the place. Neil will correct me. It's opposite Orange Lake, and it's that part just where Margaritaville's just been built.
Oh yeah.
It's just it's all brand new. But Super Target had actually built there way before anybody else, and it's a superb place to go. It's got Starbucks in it. It is an absolute delight to actually go and to just walk around, and it's not
is
the
that
same.
the one near Miller's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly opposite Miller's.
Yeah.
But it's such a beautiful place. It's just chilled out, and it's got everything you want. Similar sort of thought to sort of a lot of clothes actually, but similar sort of layout to Walmart. Not quite as sprawling. Don't sell guns. Don't sell tires. But it's got just that. It's much more similar to a UK supermarket.
Okay.
And that feel to it is much better. They do quite a good. Yeah, I think we bought.
Maybe we'll make a trip there.
It's worth going. It's definitely worth going, Claire. I ended up getting the kids a couple of iPad type things way back in the day, and they were really reasonable, and actually the people in there were very helpful. The one thing about Target I would urge everybody to note is the fact that it doesn't matter how old you are, that if you buy an alcohol, they will always ask for ID.
That's good, I think.
That's a result.
I thought so too until the night. Then you go in, sort of just before closing, and you're thinking, tell you what, pick it just out of the parks. Yeah, let's get some beers and some wine, and we'll head back to the villa. Have you got ID? No, I haven't. Just like,
well, that's a whole other conversation, John. That's a whole other conversation.
And at the age that I am at,
I know, but in the US, you're meant to carry ID everywhere, aren't you?
Yes, you are. So lesson learned.
I've been told off by the man on the gate at Fort Wilderness.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't have ID. That's a whole other story. We won't go there. Let's not talk about that tonight because that's a whole other story. Have you guys been to Target?
No.
I know Sammy's been to Target, hasn't she?
Sammy's been to Target.
Yeah.
Never been into a
No,
Target.
we've been to is it Publix?
We've been to Publix.
Oh, I
like
breathe a
Publix.
sigh of relief
like
when we talk about
Publix was
because
Yeah.
It's
do you know what?
more
It's a bit more compact.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love Publix.
I do too.
I could actually spend hours and hours and hours.
Hang on a minute. We need one of them sort of big flashing things on the screen, don't we? Was it public information advert coming up? We all love Publix. Let's park.
They can
Target
sponsor
then.
us. I'm happily
Park it. Park it.
Yeah.
We're all off. There you go. Hang on. Neil's in the chat there. It's a no knows.
I know the one he means now, Neil.
Yeah. I know he's going to tell us the exact bit. Do you know something? Publix is just amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, go on, Claire.
I love it.
Go on.
No, I was just saying,
I do.
and I have, the one at Celebration is the one that we tend to go to. And did you know? Yeah, so that one just there by Celebration. So Publix is Peter's just said Publix and are like Waitrose. So it is an employee-owned supermarket. I didn't realise that. I looked it up today. It's started in 1930 and it is owned by so it's a share franchise in terms of its own, but shares by the employees. And I wonder if that makes a difference. I don't know. What I know is that their bakery, their fresh meat, their everything is fresh. Everything is good quality. Their hot food, when you go in, you can buy some amazing hot food. Someone told me the sushi was really good. I've not braved buying sushi from a supermarket, all I have to say. But even like their fruit and veg, their produce is incredible.
It's our go-to place for everything fresh, and it's our go-to place for fruit, vegetables, meat, fish.
Definitely.
It's amazing.
Beer selection rocks.
It certainly does. It certainly does.
Because do you know what I love about the Publix at Celebration is they have their beers in the chiller on one side, and they have the snacks on the shelves opposite, so you can literally go down.
It's common sense.
Pick up your case of Big Wave, and then some Land Shark, and then you're like, well, I'll have some Fritos and some Bugles as well. Fantastic. Yeah. And you're sorted. You don't have to go looking for stuff.
Gone into the planning of that.
They've laid stuff out properly, and it doesn't stress me out.
It's not one you can easily get lost going around in.
No. And the other side to it, and this is the nice bit, because if you go to Publix in Celebration, you go to the one on the 192, you go to the one that's up at Bury Town Centre. You go further afield and you head across to Clearwater and you go to Publix there. They've all got an exceptionally similar layout, so you know exactly where what you're looking for. So if you're going for the beer, you know exactly it's going to be furthest point across.
2/3 of the way,
yeah, and I like
That's
that.
a good idea.
How can an American supermarket? It's consistent, but it's consistently good as well, and that's what I really like. And I know probably a lot of people, if you live across there, please get in the chat and tell us. Loads of people probably say, "Oh, it's more expensive than Walmart, it's more expensive than Target, or whatever." But actually, I don't mind paying that little bit extra because actually the quality is good, the staff are absolutely exceptional, and I would also say that the staff will offer to take your trolley out to the car park.
They pack your bags for you.
Yeah.
What's that?
But they'll wear a pin that says, "Please do not.
Please don't tip me." I know.
What's that all about? And I think. And
Ben, honestly, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. So
please don't tip.
People probably think I'm just insane. So this is not a thing in the UK. The only time someone packs your shopping bags for you is when the Boy Scouts or the Cubs are doing like their Bob a Job week. And they come in and you're going to pay a couple of quid and they shove everything in a bag that bursts.
Or you ask for help.
I paid them a quid not to pack me bag.
I think
not to.
Because I'll put the bread right at the bottom of the bag and then the tins on top of it.
But you know what? It just in public, it's all done so well. It's done so neatly. It's in the trolley. They'll get a second trolley if you need it. And it's bizarre. It's just incredible. And it's like, this is like stellar service. And and it's such a
And
nice experience.
They pride themselves on it as well, Claire.
I know.
I can't. I think that's possibly why we've sort of been pushed towards talking about supermarkets tonight. Because once you've been in a Publix, your actual experience of any sort of grocery shopping in particular, Publix don't have the non-food offerings that Walmart and
nowhere near. No,
do. That's fine. They concentrate on being a grocery store, and
a good grocery store.
They are exceptional. And I know Patricia's put in there the fresh seafood department is amazing, and I'd agree with you, Patricia.
Yeah.
And also if there's stuff you particularly want, so if there's something from the butcher's department that you want, and it's not there, go and ask, because actually they will go and sort something out for you to suit what you want. They consider you as the customer to be the one who they're there to actually serve. It's such a completely different experience than certainly UK supermarkets, where it's pilot high, sell it cheap, and then sort of we'll change the prices and we'll sort of really annoy you, because I think Peter mentioned about the fact that they move it all around deliberately to make you pay more next week. And the thing that really impresses me about Publix is the fact that no matter what part of Florida you go to, they are the same. They have the same high standard of customer care, same high standard of training for the staff, and that takes a whole lot of doing. And I think Wendy mentioned the fact that heard of them. I think they are Florida based.
They are. Well, they're southern states mainly, I think. But oh, bless you, Becca. But I'll tell you what I like about here. This is such a Claire thing. I'll tell you what I like about Publix is it's clean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
The floor is clean.
The floor was clean.
Yeah.
The shelves are clean, and even the restrooms are clean.
But
because when you're there with a child, she always wants to go to the toilet when you're in the wrong place. And actually, it's clean enough to take a child. Actually, I wouldn't dream of taking meals into the loo in some of the supermarkets. So, I don't have that anxiety in Publix. It's one of those places that I feel really it's like makes my trip. The fact that we can go to Publix and buy some. Oh, how sad am I?
What would you do?
Sorry.
What would you do if Publix opened over here?
Sorry?
Imagine if Publix opened over here.
That would be amazing. And I think that Peter's right. It's sort of similar. Is it similar to Waitrose? I think Publix for me is like Marks and Spencer's.
It's an M&S. Yeah.
It's like an M&S, Simply Food type thing.
Just tend to focus on the groceries as well.
Yeah.
They don't sell clothing, electronics.
Yeah,
I
think it's sort of Waitrose, M&S.
Should we answer Jill's question about where the nearest one is? We've got a map.
So I think the nearest one is probably Celebration if you're looking at the bottom end of World Drive, depending on which resorts you're staying at, because there are some slightly further up.
If you're at the Animal Kingdom,
there's a lot more than what I thought.
There is.
There's lots of them. There is.
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom lets itself out quite nicely up to the 192 and along. There's one just beyond Orange Lake on the 192 on the right hand side, which is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you know, Patricia's so right there. It is. The people are so absolutely amazingly kind.
Yeah. Friendly, chatty. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's just a nice experience.
Yeah.
So Publix want to sponsor us, we'd be very happy.
Oh,
any supermarket. We don't mind any freebies.
Have a couple of
I'm thinking M&M's here.
Yeah.
There are other places that maybe don't qualify as a supermarket. So I was going to say Walgreens, which to me, when I first was going to Walgreens, I thought it was like a pharmacy. I thought it was going to be like Boots, where it sells shampoo, paracetamol, plasters, those types of things.
Like a meal deal sandwich.
It's more like a Wilko's.
Yeah, it sells everything. It's got a pharmacy, and you can go and see the pharmacist, and you have a chat with them, and you can get, your anti-mosquito bite stuff. But it sells everything. It sells food. It sells toys. It sells what household stuff? What's that about? It confuses me.
It's kind of lost sight of what it actually was set out.
Well, they just open the store to we'll just do everything.
Yeah,
but I actually quite like it, but it just causes me a little bit of confusion.
Yeah.
CVS and Walgreens.
Yeah, and they are similar. I would love to share a story of our very first trip prior to having kids. My mum and stepdad had actually arrived a few days before us, so they came to pick us up from the airport, which was great. It was really kind of them. The only thing was, by the time that they got to the airport, not us, they weren't talking to each other. My stepdad had decided he wasn't driving anymore for the rest of the trip. And then the only way that my mum knew was you turn left at the Walgreens. Now,
there's a lot of Walgreens.
After the fifth Walgreens, left. And they wouldn't go down the I-4, so we ended up going down. I think it transpires we went down the I-4 and down International Drive. So if you turn left at every Walgreens on International Drive, we were going round in circles and circles. It took us that long to get to the 192. So after my stepdad died, we took my mum for her only trip with us, and on the way there, we knew what we were doing. So do you know they've actually moved the airport since the last time we came here? And she's like, really? I said, no. It only took us half an hour, and it took us about 3 hours. And she was thinking that we'd actually gone to a different airport. It wasn't. It was hilarious. It was so funny, and it was just
that's hysterical. They're everywhere.
It was just what a start to holiday that was. When your mum and dad did not speak to each other, you could feel the electricity when you got in the car, and you pile off a transatlantic flight, and you're just like, we're getting a lift. Fantastic.
Cut the air with a knife moment.
Oh, it was more than that, Claire. I'd love to have been there before. I'd love to have been in that car before we'd actually
the 10 minutes before you got in. Yeah.
Do we all remember the first thing we go into a shop in America, and you just notice there's something different, and it looks similar to what you get back home, but it's just different.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the smell.
I remember buying Tic Tacs.
Oh god!
And we didn't pay attention to the flavour. We just looked at the colour, and it was green.
Okay.
So we thought it was spearmint.
What's spearmint?
Wintergreen.
Lime.
Something called wintergreen.
Yes, you can get wintergreen chewing gum, I think, and stuff like that.
Don't buy wintergreen.
No.
It's a bit like grass.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, it's not good.
Especially when you think it's spearmint.
Oh, no. And I think that's interesting, isn't it? There are so many things that are different. There are loads of things that are the same, which is the familiar stuff. And then there's always that rando that you put in your trolley and you're like, I'm going to get this just because it's different. And it's like a make or break moment because you don't know if it's going to be great or awful, but it's fun to do. And we always try and do that. We always try and pick up a couple of things that, we may or may not eat. And it's like the coffee. We always buy the massive, it's like Folgers coffee, like John, I don't know if you do that as well. The massive, it's like a bucket of ground coffee. It's like this huge, great big thing. You look at this, there's a little one that's like 500 grams, I think it is, and you're like, well, that's going to last us a week. We're here for 2 at least. Yeah. Let's get the big one. And then use 20 different kinds. So what do we go for? I go for the dark blend. And this thing, honestly, it's like you have to get a hoist to take it off the shelf. And you're trying to put it into the cart next to you. And you're like, right, that's okay. We're good for coffee. We never use it all. And it costs 20 cents more than the small ones. You're like, well, it's stupid not to buy the big one.
Yeah. Instead of buying 2 of the smaller one, and it's,
Yeah. No, Patricia, we don't have Folgers. That's not something we can get over here.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I do like. I like the tub though, because if you buy a Christmas ornament in the Magic Kingdom, there's a really good way of transporting it home because you can pad it out with some loo roll, and then you can put this glass ornament in the Folgers tub. We've used them I've got about 20 here because we use them all the time for packing stuff. I think I've taken lunch to work in one before.
Brilliant.
Everything still smells like coffee. But...
everything that you buy has got another alternative use, hasn't it? You know, it's just
totally. No, we don't have Folgers here, so we don't have that option. As discussed last week, we order our coffee from Joffrey's in the States and have it shipped over. But so we've got Walgreens, CVS.
Yeah.
Where's the place on the 192 that you get the massive drinks, John?
That's Wow.
Does that count as a supermarket, or is that just a petrol station?
I think it's a petrol station,
but then it sells that much stuff anyway that you can actually.
I've never been in Wawa. I love the name. I like saying it, but I've never been in.
I love the Wawa. You can just get anything, and it also works because I can get cash out of the machine there for free. So it's like
commission. Cash machines.
With a Halifax Clarity card, there's no charge for using it in the Wawa.
I didn't know that.
I can't remember the name.
It makes me giggle.
Fabulous. Anyone from Scotland that's listening, it used to be a brilliant place. I used to go and watch gigs in Glasgow called King Tut's Wawa Hut. So a Wawa in America.
Don't go any further. I'd stop there.
You go to the Wawa. It's brilliant. Love it. It's just.
We're going to try this next trip.
You have to get an Uber to go through the Wawa.
Yeah.
Just drive through here, please.
Yeah, and you also need to know that they sell, like those slushy drinks, right?
Yeah.
And they're just like the biggest, most incredibly sized drinks that you'd ever possibly get. They send the kids loopy on the E numbers that they're in the colorants.
Awesome.
99 cents.
Really worth it.
99 cents, and it's just like, there you go, kids.
Worth
it. You know what your dad's got, yeah.
I need to add that to our planner. I'm going to stick it in the planner. We're going to go through a Wawa. Definitely.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely spot on. And I think we're looking at car hire as well.
Yes, we are in a couple of weeks.
Next week.
But also, I'll keep me advice about Wawa. We'll talk about Wawa again next week because it's quite an easy place for British visitors to actually use and utilise. We'll come back.
Filling up with fuel is a whole other issue.
I'm going to get on Twitter. I'm going to get on Twitter tonight, right? I'm going to put in hashtag Walmart, hashtag Super Target, hashtag Wawa. Yeah. Come on, we want some comeback for all this free advertising we're giving these guys.
Absolutely. And then, is it worth mentioning, because I know that we discussed it briefly before the show, that these are all places that obviously you can either drive to or you can get an Uber or a taxi to, but there is another alternative if you're staying particularly on Disney or Universal property. You can have your groceries delivered to the resort. Now,
especially if you don't have a car.
If you're not having a car, but you still want to be able to get stuff delivered. So we've definitely done that. We've done it both times we stayed at Old Key West, because obviously we had a 1-bedroom, so we had a full kitchen. So we were just like, well, let's just get it sorted. So we used a company called Garden Grocer, who were amazing. Both times you used Garden Grocer. And if you ordered like 90 days out from your trip, we got a discount. I think it's like a 15% discount if you order a certain amount of time before you go. And we just, it was so simple. It was like doing your online shopping, and then you pay for it, and then they deliver it to bell services at your resort at some point on the day of arrival. So you specify the day you arrive. They deliver it to bell services. You check in at your resort, and then you go to bell services and say, I've got grocery order waiting there. And they go, great, we'll give you 15 minutes to get to your room, and then we'll drop it off. And they bring it on the little golf cart, and then you can just, they unload it, and you just tip the bell services for bringing it to the resort. The good thing is they keep it refrigerated, so your beer and wine are cold when they get to your room, which is very nice when you've been on a long flight. But I really like the option of having stuff delivered to your resort. It really is.
We've done it twice. We've used Garden Grocer once, and last time we've used Amazon.
Okay. And you just pay with your Prime?
Yeah, and we had to get a Prime US membership,
Mhm.
but I've just got a free 30-day trial. But it is something we'll definitely look at next time we're doing it again. But it was just brilliant. Like you said, the only difference now, Disney have started to charge. If they deliver it to your room, it's $6 per parcel.
Is that per?
It's not delivery; it's per
delivery.
parcel. I think
So
it's per
if they
parcel.
pack it into like 20 bags, is that 20 lots of $6?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at
Really?
the wording on Disney's website, yeah, which I think is a little bit.
Yeah.
But to be honest, we just went down and picked it up.
Yeah.
The last time we were there, but it was the good things about Bell Services keeping things refrigerated, because when we would go between resorts, we
Put all of the refrigerated stuff
that we
into
had
a
left over,
holdall.
put into holdall. They put that in refrigerated, transferred it
fantastic.
in refrigerated to the next resort, and it was kept all nice and cool.
That's an
Yes.
interesting idea.
And I
for
like being able to order
shopping.
stuff, and it was just with Amazon Prime now, it was you chose a 2-hour slot for them to deliver. So we thought we'd choose it within the first 2 hours of once we've landed. So it's like by the time we've got Magical Express or got to
While
the
we're
hotel,
checking in, we can pick it up
it was there,
While we're
and
checking.
just
and take it back ourselves.
Have you
Do you
done
know
it, John?
something? No, I've never. And just listening to you talking about it, it makes complete sense, and it actually, it in a way, it's like how sort of supermarket delivery in the UK has completely changed in the past couple of years, basically, hasn't it? And how people are much more able to sort of use the internet as a form of get in there early, get your order done, and know that it's dependable and it's reliable, and you're not going to get sort of all of your items sort of wrong and all this. And I think for a lot of people moving forward, both of those options sound absolutely superb. They really do. And I know fine well that we've got issues as regarding what you can see without a VPN, as regarding different places in the US. I know a lot of their websites won't work across here, but I've got to say, Garden Grocer and the Amazon.
Yeah, Garden Grocer's no issue. You can just. I think it's designed for international tourists as well as US.
I actually think it's great that we can do it before we leave.
Yeah,
it's like we know what we want, and it's like, especially sometimes, like if we know we're not driving,
cases of water,
and then it's like getting it there, and then going to get an Uber or planning it into your first day or so, time to go to a supermarket. It's just like, okay, I want to do that, but I want to be in the park at the minute. I don't want to waste my park time first.
Exactly. And I think, with Garden Grocer, you do pay for delivery if your shopping comes to less than $200.
Okay.
I've never had that issue.
Why does that not come as a surprise?
But it's good because you can get all the bulky stuff. So you can get like your cases, of bottles of water to shove in the freezer so that you can stick them in your bag for the park day or whatever it looks like for you. Shampoo, conditioner, shower gel, heavy stuff that you don't want to pack in your suitcase. Actually, you can then have it on arrival. Beer, wine.
We normally don't buy sunscreen until we go out there. Sometimes
this is it. So just have that all there ready. Yeah. And that for me is, it makes, if you are traveling economy in the air, you've only got 23 kilo hold luggage, then actually it makes such a difference in terms of the weight of what you're taking. You can take 3 more pairs of shoes, for example, if you haven't got to put your shampoo and conditioner in the bag. Or,
we didn't use it when we did our hand luggage only trip. Maybe
we didn't.
Why not?
I don't know.
One to think about.
I never
luggage only.
Yeah,
it was only a 7-day trip.
It was only a week trip.
We only went for a week.
Yeah.
Who does a hand luggage only?
And we threw most of the clothes away to bring souvenirs back.
People that don't mind losing their clothes.
I don't do hand luggage only anywhere.
No.
The price of the flight
was worth
about half the price of normal economy.
Oh, you just pay for a bag on the way back.
And that was during the half term.
Okay.
Yeah. That's brilliant. It really is.
So no, I'd do it again now just to be out there.
Yeah.
I'd get in the hand luggage just to get there. But yeah, I think there is something about being able to pre-order everything that you need, and actually to sit calmly and go, well, what do I need when we get there? Have we got, I go into like extreme mum mode, and I need to have plasters, paracetamol, after sun, all the stuff that I would normally buy at home if we were going somewhere hot and sunny. I need to have all of that stuff, but actually I can order it all in advance. I do that at the airport. You order stuff to pick up at the airside at the airport as well. But knowing that it's all there when you get to the resort, and it's all paid for in advance, you don't have to worry about going and trying to find stuff.
Have we all done this to bring stuff back?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because
Always.
in 2018 we were premium economy. So we had the extra bags, but we didn't take them with us. So it's like we went and we just bought 2 big holdalls from Adidas and just
Which
filled
still
them up,
having a
which
very
was-
useful.
I don't think we've had a trip where we haven't bought an extra bag, or we've taken a folded flat holdall inside a bag so that we had it for the way home.
I think as well, and I think going back to where we started on this, we don't take that much out with us. It's the coming home that's the issue.
Yes.
And it's the fact that when we're coming home, we always need an extra bag. One year we kidded ourselves on that we didn't need the extra bag, and we found ourselves shuffling luggage on an airport floor in Fort Lauderdale. And at that particular moment, we vowed never to put ourselves in that position ever again. And we knew we were on the limit. And it was a case that one bag was over, but we needed to get the weight from that bag, and we had to shuffle it around. And they were being a bit of a pain, but that's what people behind the desk are.
Sometimes you get them, it's like it's the limit. You're not allowed to.
Yeah, and sometimes as a family you get away with it, but that occasion we didn't. And I won't name the carrier. Yeah, but they were a United. they were an American one.
I think there's always the option of buying an extra bag for the way home, and we've talked about that for our next trip because we are flying economy because it just made sense financially at the moment. We've upgraded before just so we can have extra bags on the way home, which is quite nice. But actually, I think it was like £75 for an extra bag on the way home. Actually, that's much cheaper than 4 premium economy flights.
Yes.
So and the other side as well, Claire, is the fact that if you have got the extra bag, it then means that you're not dumping. I mean, we're guilty of this a load of time. We're dumping all the toiletries and all the I've been known to leave shoes and things like that as you just sort of right way.
Oh yeah, you've got to replace your trainers and ditch the old ones.
But actually you just bring them back. You got an extra bag. You can. It takes all of that out of it. Can I just say a big shout out to Surf Bum John, who's in the chat. I don't know if we said hello to him at the start of the show. He's been in the chat for quite a while, but he's actually solved the Winn-Dixie scenario, and they've still got one on the 535. 535 at Lake Buena Vista. There's still a
Winn-Dixie.
A Winn-Dixie, which is good to hear. So they're still alive and kicking. Yeah, they're good. They're just different. Don't expect to have much holiday spends left when you come out. But hey,
yeah.
But no, I appreciate you joining us, John, because I know you. He's very much personally. He watches an awful lot of different Disney content as well. So it's good to know he's watching us.
Yeah. There's a picture here, John. I just thought
that's a Walmart classic. When you're on holiday and you think you've seen everything that's available to buy in Walmart, and then you come across something like that. Now, obviously, I'll leave it to the viewers to decide which one is me, which one is my family, and things like that. But on the same trip, we actually went to see one of my favourite bands in Clearwater. And it was hilarious because about 2 days after us doing that, they also took a picture and actually had a picture of themselves, but they bought them, and so they were around a snooker table all with these things on. Look, they bought all that stuff from Walmart. that your dad wouldn't let you buy because you wouldn't get back on the plane with them. So
there is always that conversation.
Yeah, it's just
I'm not sure I'd stick my head in it.
Behave, Claire. Don't worry. It's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We waffle about all sorts of rubbish on
We
here.
do indeed.
We do. And actually, do you know something? I think tonight we've actually done justice to some of these places where we go and spend money. You know,
maybe not Target.
We've exposed the fact that
not Target in New York, but I tell you, Claire, on your next trip,
do you know what? The
thing
thing that we struggle to purchase at Publix, and we always make this error, are pool floaties and like pool inflatables and stuff like that, because we're usually in a villa, and that's the thing that we struggle to buy.
Walgreens,
so maybe Target,
Walgreens for them. They sell all of them.
We had one pool floaty last time, and it may have got killed halfway through the trip. So, because we tend to only go to Publix, and they just have like a noodle, usually at the door. So other than that, we tend to struggle to find them. So, I think if Walgreens for the pool stuff, right? Yeah,
and also if you go to some of the Publix on the 192 and the one at Bury Town Centre, they're both very much tourist based anyway. So they do have a little bit more on that sort of front as well.
Yeah. Yes, Patricia. I mean, pool floats and inflatables and I know Neil mentioned 44.
Yeah. I tell you the other good one, Claire, and this is possibly hits on something Neil had mentioned about going to Aldi. And I think he's talking about Aldi taking over the world, I would imagine. But Aldi and Lidl in that run up to your summer holidays always have a week where they get
but they weigh a fortune. They weigh so much. That's
take them out. No, take them out of the box. Right, it's the box. And you just got the plastic. Just leave them out there.
We had this massive unicorn. We had a massive unicorn. And it weighed...
You got something into buying that one. Oh, no.
No, it was a tenner. It wasn't expensive. It was 10 quid.
No, but you don't take it up.
Massive blow-up unicorn. Of course, you've then got the conversation about who's blowing it up.
And I was talking about the same. Poor dad. I'm thinking, poor dad.
Actually, we tend to bribe Morgan with doing it. He's usually the pool floatee in blower upper. But yeah, and this thing, because it was heavy, thick plastic, it weighed so much in the case, and it was like, I think we put it in the car seat bag in the end. But actually, that did get killed about halfway through by my cousin jumping on it. So, we had to. We then without pool floaties.
Sounds bad that the unicorn died.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got photos of the dead unicorn with a head like. It's a very sad moment.
We're going to have to put that on our Wafflers arms.
I'll find it for you. I will.
We've had like pool volleyball nets and things like that we've taken across with us. So you've actually got pool volleyball, or you've got cornhole. There's a cornhole tossing, which Americans, it's an absolutely amazing sport, and it's a much underrated one from our Brits. And if Neil's there, we did watch the cornhole tossing championship final, I think 2019.
John, I don't know what that is. I'm laughing because it sounds.
It does sound exactly. It makes me giggle every time, which is what I wanted to say.
What is cornhole tossing? I don't know.
You've got a little board.
It's gone past 9 p.m. here.
Yeah, there's a little board which is about sort of the other end of a cricket pitch away from you, and you chuck bean bags with a degree of skill into these.
It's like 6-year-old PE lesson.
Yeah, it is. There you go. Thank you, Neil. Cornhole toss rocks. It does. It is.
That sounds even worse.
Hashtag cornhole toss.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it's like a primary school PE lesson basically, where you throw bean bags at something.
Okay.
But wait till you see. Yeah, the hotels. Yeah, thank you, Patricia.
I do not know this game.
The skill involved in it, and I never knew this. They'll put spin on it so that it'll actually let's keep that for sports.
Let's move on.
I'll keep it for
Are you
sports.
Googling this?
Yeah.
Sports show.
A sports show
impromptu
rather than a
sports show.
shopping show.
Oh my goodness, too many things to talk about.
Do like a yeah.
It's 9:05. We've
Is it
done our
really?
hour.
It is.
Yeah.
We have. We've gone over. We've done an hour of supermarkets.
John
and
hasn't
then
finished yet.
No, I'm done. I'm more than happy. I just need to go. I need to get in the car now and go to Publix.
Oh, if
I've
only.
got this real desire to just go and just walk around Publix.
I love
I
Publix so
can't
much.
wait to go back.
Yeah.
I say
Yes,
we
sir.
on our planned trip. We have a whole morning set aside for going to Publix.
Yeah, just quality stuff.
Why not?
And then
Yeah.
the other thing as well, Claire, and I didn't mention it at the time when we were talking about Publix, is they do these recipe cards.
Yes,
Okay.
and then you can find all the stuff to make it
Yeah.
at home. Brilliant.
Ooh.
And their
you can
ready-made
also-
food is really good as well. The stuff that you can pop in the oven, and it's amazing.
and the stuff for barbecues that are already sort of been cut
Yeah.
and then marinated and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and also sort of kebab type things that you can just put straight in the barbecue.
Is anyone
Is
else
it-
hungry?
Yeah,
Yeah,
here we are talking about
Being a
food.
bit peckish.
I'm sure that is it Publix that do a fried chicken that everyone raves about.
Yeah.
We haven't had it, but I think it is Publix that have a fried chicken. So yeah.
The Publix do
Definitely.
subs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, and they
Ooh.
do an amazing mac and cheese as well that
Yes.
you can get hot.
I do like mac and cheese.
Mm.
And they also, I'll tell you what they've
Publix is
also
being
started,
added to the plan.
yeah, what they've also started doing. Yeah, thanks, Neil. Yeah, thanks, Neil. It's exactly why you don't need to stick up being on site. One of the things that we noticed in the past sort of 2019, 2018, 2017 trips is that Publix have started doing sandwiches, which previously in the US, you would go into a supermarket, you know, like you do in the UK, and you'd be able to pick a sandwich up and you just be able to, get yourself something for lunch. And they've never done that. And that's become part of their remit.
Mm.
Of like, you can go and get a sandwich, pre-made sandwich. It doesn't have to be the Subway sort of variety and stuff like that. You just get it pre-packed and you can go. It's just dead easy. And that was something we'd struggle for a number of years of actually finding something like that, particularly when
Just grab and go.
Yeah, and particularly when the days, if you're maybe going across to the beach and you just, you're en route, you see a Publix and you just think, oh, nip in there, get something for when we get to the beach. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you, Robin. Publix chicken is everything. It really is.
Here we are. I thought it was Publix that do a chicken thing.
Yeah.
I'll have to look for it next time, I think.
Yeah, the Walmart one's good as well. I would hasten to add. But that's if they've got any left.
Yeah.
They've got any left.
This is it. This is it. We are, we are supermarketed
stocks.
out, swept through our supermarkets.
Supermarket sweep.
Yeah, right.
There we go. That's what I want.
It feels like that when we go in because you don't come out with any money at the end of it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be Dale though. I must admit. Yeah.
I know that we always spend so much money when we go in there, and it's like, it'd be like $150. No, it's more like $250 every time, and we're just like, how did you get to this
like I
much?
said, it's dollars, not pounds. You find.
Dan, are you listening? It's okay. Ben says it's okay to use dollars, not pounds. But yeah, I think it's a highlight of a trip, which sounds ridiculous, but
I'm so pleased that we actually have done this show because
It shows how much we're missing Florida if we're missing the supermarkets.
But I think as well. I think it shows people that as we come from the UK and we arrive in Florida, that the choice there is so good.
Yeah.
It is an experience. It's one of them not to be feared. Which people staying on site generally, they kind of get quite sort of into that bubble and they don't want to come out.
Mm-hmm.
It's an absolutely amazing experience to go and do that. So yeah, go and have a look at. Certainly go and have a look at Walmart. Walmart's great. Just
spectator sport.
Just don't get lost. But
And don't
Publix,
go off at 10 p.m.
Publix, but Publix is the one if you're wanting quality fresh food. It's superb.
So what are we talking about next week?
Ooh, have a guess.
Next week.
Somehow we've
Car hire. Yay!
Yeah.
Okay. Practical tips.
Yes.
Yes, we could use some of those.
I'm gonna
Persuade us.
What do you need?
hire a
What
car.
don't you need? Like insurance and that sort of
Okay.
thing. And
That sounds good.
driving in Orlando.
I think as well, Claire will come with our clipboard full of no. This is what I actually ordered online, and no. Sign there. Thank you very much. That's car hire.
Just give me the bit to sign. Let's go. Or better still, straight to garage.
Yes.
Straight to garage and drive out. That's
Skip the desk.
Yeah.
Skip the counter. Let's talk about that next week, because that
some
revolutionised our life.
I think we've got some real stories to share on that as well. So, a big thank you to everyone in the chat. The chat has been on fire tonight.
Who knew?
I don't think there's been so many bits that we've missed in that. So I'm gonna have a look back on that later on and just read back on all your comments, because we do. Yeah, because we like you.
You do. Yeah.
We appreciate you making the effort to be part of the show.
And we'll also carry on the conversation, because like we can never make the hour. It always goes over unless it's last week.
Except when Sammy's in charge, and she was deliberately making sure we finish at 9:00.
Yeah,
just to prove a point to me.
So we'll be in the Wafflers' arms afterwards, and we'll carry on the conversation. So if anyone's got any questions or anything, just send us a post, let us know.
And tell us your tips about which supermarkets are worth going to, and where we can get good coupons, because we haven't talked about coupons. But if you want to tell us where, you used to get those coupon books in the machines outside the Ponderosa. You don't get that anymore. So if people want to tell us where to get good coupons.
And that's my last word on Publix, because actually as you walk into
they have one as you walk in.
They have the coupon book.
They have good deals as well.
As you walk
10 for $10. Yeah.
And I think that's where you like things being transparent, you like things being fair. Totally. And you don't have to sort of be in a certain Facebook group, or you don't have to be in a certain club, or you don't have to have a certain card to get your discounts. You walk in, see what's on offer that week, and then fill your trolley full.
We're simple people.
Yeah.
I think so.
We don't want to have to hunt for things on holiday.
Cool. So next week, car hire. If you haven't had a listen to the first of the month show that came out yesterday, our second anniversary show, please give it a listen, give us a like, share it with your friends and family if they fancy a giggle at our expense. And we had some amazing messages from friends in the Disney community. So have a watch and have a listen. And we'd love to know what you think. So if you want to get in contact with us, please do it.
Yeah, and I think as well, I think it's only fair, since Patricia's been in the chat throughout.
Yeah.
We'll give a shout out to our good friends, the After Hours team, who are 8 p.m. tomorrow night for another After Hours. I couldn't last Friday morning. I was done for, so I missed out to do the catch up, because it's 1 a.m. in the UK. But I tell you what, it's worth watching, and it's a really fun show. And last week was amazing, because they did that wonderful trek around Magic Kingdom. It was beautiful, just beautiful to watch, and beautiful
it was good. Do you know what? And it was like finishing off on Jason going on People Mover.
Yeah. I think tomorrow night could be fun too.
Oh yeah,
we've had a few
messages.
Bit of a sneak peek.
Yes.
So I might be staying up for tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I am.
I think it's one to watch.
A good one, definitely.
I'm still going to get it on the replay.
And then Dean at the Live Place, we need to give a shout out for.
Yes.
It's the channel for family-friendly streaming, of which we are usually family-friendly. I know that we're
always family-friendly.
We sometimes approach the line, but we never cross it. So we are family-friendly, and we pride ourselves on being able to continue like that. So it's really important.
Thanks, Wendy.
And the only recommendation I can give is don't go back to listen to the first episode.
Just keep coming forwards with us.
It'll work.
Yeah. Don't go back too far.
Yeah.
We've moved on significantly.
Thankfully.
Yeah. But it's great to have everyone with us. We look forward to seeing you all next week in the chat.
Yeah.
And you can tell us all your tips about car hire. But in the interim, there's only one thing left to say.
As always,
Waffle on.
Waffle on.